Good afternoon and welcome into Tarble Pavilion, the site of a doubleheader today between the men's and women's basketball programs of Swarthmore and Franklin Marshall. Happy to have you with us here today. Chris Markowitz on the call, our first game of the day, a meeting of the women's squads as the Franklin and Marshall starters are being announced over the PA system. Let's take a look. Starting for them at guard, a junior, number 14, Natalie Cobb, a sharpshooting three-point sniper. Playing the forward spot, a 6'1 senior, number 22, Kenna Williams. Playing the guard, a 5'8 senior, number 24, Mackenzie Bradley. Another guard, a first-year player out of Morristown, New Jersey, number 25, Quinn Galligan. And rounding out the starting lineup, a 5'9 forward from Marlton, New Jersey, number 30, Kennedy Wilburn. Head coach of the Diplomats is Brianna Spector. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the home Swarthmore Garnet. Starting at guard, number 5, Kim Kokenmeister, a 5'8 junior out of Greenwich, Connecticut. Starting at forward, a 5'9 freshman from Palmyra, Pennsylvania, number 10, Caitlin Becker. Starting at guard, a 5'6 freshman from Potomac, Maryland, number 13, Alyssa Hayashi. Starting at forward, a 6-foot freshman from Cromwell, New York, number 22, Nora Wingfield. And starting at guard, a junior, 6 foot out of New Hope, Pennsylvania, number 24, Dana Van Durek. Head coach in her first year for the Garnet is Dawn Grant. Swarthmore comes into today with a record of 7-2 overall, 4-1 in conference action, which is tied for the second best record in the conference so far. This is the first home game for Swarthmore since the Garnet lost 56-51 against Dickinson back on December 4th. That was the first conference loss of the year for Swarthmore. Officials for today's contest: Karen Pammer, Barry Vaughn, and Jeff O'Brien. So here are the Garnet with the ball on the opening possession. .15 on the shot clock. Tipped out of bounds, will stay here. Swarthmore in its home white, Franklin and Marshall playing in their road blue jerseys. Becker feeds the low post. Hook shot off the mark. Wingfield couldn't find the touch. First possession for the Diplomats, and it's a layup for Kenna Williams. Good setup by Galligan on the entry feed. The Garnet handle the press. Open three-pointer for Hayashi, no good. And Williams secures the miss. Kenna Williams averaging a double-double this year, the senior from Newport News, Virginia. Baseline pull-up too strong. And it's a tie-up, held ball. The arrow favors the Diplomats. Franklin and Marshall this year at 5-6 overall, 3-3 in conference action. Currently in 6th place, right in the middle of the Centennial. Here's a steal on the inbound. Van Durek gets the roll. First basket of the game for the Garnet, and fittingly it comes for Dana Van Durek, who in her past 2 games scored 24 points, had 18 rebounds. Her last time out, 16 rebounds in the game before that. So in her previous 2 games, averaging 24 and 17, as we have a 3-second call against the Diplomats. 8:21 to play here in the first quarter, and we're even at 2. Hayashi, good feed, and the layup is money for Wingfield. What a setup by Alyssa Hayashi, the freshman. First lead of the day for Swarthmore. Galligan stops on a dime. 11 to shoot as the Diplomats work it around the perimeter. Cobb on the drive. Reverse layup, no good. Nice defense there by Bandurek to make it a tough angle. Bandurek outside. Becker, nice little give and go. Bandurek shakes through a double team, but can't convert the bunny. Fast break the other direction. Galligan, good feed, and the layup falls for Wilburn. Back even, 4-4 with 7:15 to play here in the opening quarter. Here's Hayashi, the freshman point guard who has played so well in her first year here at Tarble Pavilion, averaging 10 points a contest this season. On the drive, her shot is blocked. Good defense by Bradley. Galligan sets up the offense for the Diplomats. Franklin and Marshall has the highest three-point field goal percentage in the conference this year. They shoot it well from the outside. Whistle here, and it's a travel call. Williams moved the pivot foot before the pass. The Diplomats stick with the full court press. They've forced 18 turnovers a game, fifth most in the conference this year. But Kokenmeister with the easy layup as the Garnet have had the answer against the pressure. .11 on the shot clock. There's Galligan. Picked up by Hayashi. She feeds Wilburn. Wilburn, lefty layup, no good, but it was deflected. Shot clock ran out, and we'll see if they put any time back on it. Sub into the game now for Franklin and Marshall. Ali Trebelev, the first-year guard out of Media PA, checks in and replaces Natalie Cobb with 5:55 to play here in the first quarter, and the officials put 2 seconds back on the shot clock. Nowhere to get the ball in, and that's a 5-second violation. So a turnover by Franklin and Marshall. Great team defense by the Garnet. Hayashi across the timeline. Wingfield inside the Hayashi. Bandurek with the deuce. Good find by Hayashi. The Garnet moving the ball well offensively early on as they lead 8-4 with 5:27 to play in the first quarter. Wilburn swings. Galligan back to Wilburn. Mid-range J short. Kokenmeister runs the floor, kicks for Becker, and she's too strong on the pull-up jumper. Wilburn leads the break the other direction. Galligan, oh, what a find. But the bunny is missed by Williams. It was a wide open layup. Good find by Galligan to set it up. But a missed chance there for the Diplomats. Bandurek stops on a dime but can't get the roll. Collects her own miss, gets blocked from behind. Still has the ball, and it's a tie-up. And we'll stay here. The arrow favors Swarthmore. And that's what makes Bandurek such a tough player to stop. Not only is she a talented scorer, but she's one of the best rebounders in the conference as well, as we have a slew of substitutions who check into the game for both squads. 4:38 left to play here in the opening quarter. Swarthmore with the ball ahead, 8-4. That's Smith fresh into the game for the Garnet. She kicks to Lopez. Carolina Lopez out onto the floor for the first time today. Bandurek pops the J from 15. Dana Bandurek stretches the lead to 6 points for the Garnet, and they are in complete control here at home. Three-point bomb, no good. The putback doesn't fall. And here comes Swarthmore the other way. Lopez, Bandurek back outside. Hayashi from Lopez, no good, high off the glass, and we'll go the other way. Meg Navarro gives it up. Treblev swings. Cobb tries a triple. That's no good. Natalie Cobb could shoot it, though, averaging 8 points a game on 42% shooting from distance. Here she is on the steal. Gives it up to Navarro. Her shot no good off glass. Fight for the rebound. Bandurek has it. Up ahead to Kokenmeister, and she gets blocked. Rejected by Jocelyn Fight. So Jacqueline Fight with the block, but we'll stay here. 3:19 to play in quarter number one. Hayashi on the drive, gives it up for Lopez, and she gets fouled. Another nice find for Hayashi. She already has 3 assists. And that pass leads to free throws. Lopez knocks down the first on the year. Lopez now 12 for 17 from the line, so hovering right around 70%. The freshman from New York goes 1 for 2 on her trip to the stripe. It's been a long time coming for the Diplomats. They haven't scored in several possessions now. Here's a 3 off the mark. Fight for the rebound. Bandurek comes away with it. Hayashi feeds the post, gets it back, puts it on the deck. Her mid-range J, no good. It's been 5 minutes now since Franklin and Marshall scored a basket. But that streak ends on the hook shot by Allison Narachi. Narachi, a key player off the bench for the Diplomats, a senior from North Ford, Connecticut. Subs into the game now for both squads. Quinn Galligan re-enters for the Diplomats as Nora Wingfield comes back onto the floor for the Garnet, along with Erin Cronin, the senior from Summit, New Jersey. Lopez inside the Bandurek. 14-foot pull-up jumper, no good. Left short by Cronin, her first shot of the contest. Kenna Williams comes back onto the floor for the Diplomats and replaces Fight with 2:03 left to go here in the opening quarter. Kalb finds Treblev. Long 2, no good for Narachi, and the rebound goes to Hayashi. Hayashi, no good. That was a nice setup on the cut, but she couldn't finish. Galligan swings. Cobb, guarded by Lopez, drives baseline, and she travels, took an extra step trying to kick. And we get a sub now for the Garnet. Kogenmeister re-enters, and Hayashi takes a breather with a $1:12 left to play in the first quarter. Van Durek, good handoff, but a rejection by Kenna Williams. Strong block to deny Kokenmeister. Will stay here. 24 seconds on the shot clock for Swarthmore. Lopez struggling to find an open player, able to get it into Becker. A minute left in the opening quarter. Lopez calls for a screen, now swings to Becker. Van Durek blocked on the jumper. Good defense by Narachi. Van Durek hesitated, and that allowed Narachi to recover on the pump fake. 13 seconds separate the shot and game clock as the Diplomats move the ball around. Treblev fouled on the drive, so she will shoot a pair of free throws. And that is against Caitlin Becker, her first and the team's first. It's been a relatively non-physical contest, just 3 total fouls so far with 25.7 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Swarthmore with 1, Franklin and Marshall as a team with 2. Trevlev all nylon on both free throws, and it's a 1-possession game. Shot clock unplugged for Swarthmore. The Garnet can hold for the final possession of the quarter. Van Durek lines up a triple, and it's money. Dana Van Durek lights it up from downtown. The lead back up to 6 for Swarthmore. At the buzzer, Galligan lays it in. Quinn Galligan with the lefty runner high off the glass. And that will take us to the second quarter. Swarthmore ahead of Franklin and Marshall, 14-10. We'll take a break. You're watching Swarthmore basketball here from Tarble Pavilion. Swarthmore leads Franklin and Marshall 14-10 as we enter the second quarter of action. Chris Markowitz here at Tarble Pavilion. And a dominant start to the game for Dana Van Durek, who finished the first quarter with 9 points and 6 rebounds. What a year she has had this season, the junior guard who does it all. As a three-pointer's money for Kim Kokenmeister. Her first triple of the day, and the lead back up to 7 for Swarthmore. Kokenmeister on the year, 7 for 27 now from distance. Wilburn on the drive, blocked, gets her own miss. That's no good. Williams now fouled, and she'll go to the line. And the foul is against Wingfield. That's her first. First against the team of the quarter. So Wingfield goes to the bench, replaced by Emily Smith. Kenna Williams, the senior forward, averaging 10 points and 11 rebounds a game this year. A 71% free throw shooter coming into today. A double-double machine, number 22 for the Diplomats. Another sub now checks in for Swarthmore. And correction, it was Wingfield who will have to wait for the next dead ball. Banduric kicks to Kokenmeister. Banduric with the layup, and it's good. Dana Banduric in the double figures with 11 points now, and it's an 8-point advantage for Swarthmore. Largest lead of the day for the Garnet. Wilburn backs in, shimmies, can't get the hook to fall. Cobb with the rebound, kicks outside. Galligan too strong on the triple. Still alive, but Banduric secures it, her 7th board of the day. Hayashi, quick triple, no. And Williams rips in the rebound. Galligan, good feed to Williams. She takes one dribble but can't convert. Becker up to Kokenmeister. Banduric thought about the jumper, instead puts it on the deck, tries the runner, that's off the mark. She wanted a foul call, but that was pretty good defense by Williams. On the other end, Cobb through traffic. Nifty finish there by Natalie Cobb. And that is her first basket of the day. Jumper on the other end gets the kind roll. Emily Smith, the sophomore. And a timeout taken by Franklin and Marshall with 7:34 to play in the half. Fans, today the Swarthmore Garnet and Franklin and Marshall Diplomats are lacing up for pediatric cancer to support the Go for the Goal Foundation to help kids battle cancer. Lace Up for Pediatric Cancer began in the fall of 2011. Since then, professional, college, and youth teams have participated in raising funds and awareness for the #1 disease killer of children. To date, over 500,000 athletes have supported our cause. $4 of every $5 pair of laces and 100% of all donations directly benefit kids and families in the state where the funds are raised. Go for the Goal works to improve the lives of children battling cancer by providing financial assistance, granting special wishes, developing unique hospital programs, and funding innovative research. Learn more at Go for the Goal and how you can help to make a difference by goforthegoal.org. 7:21 to play in the second quarter. Layup falls for Williams off a good feed from Bradley. And it is a 6-point game. Williams now with 5 points in the contest. The only player on the Diplomats roster with multiple field goals today. Becker swings to Hayashi. She goes on the drive, count it, and the foul. Alyssa Hayashi with the left hand, and she'll shoot one.
Diplomats foul, second personal game is on number 25, Quentin Galligan.
And that foul is on Galligan, which is her second, so we'll see if Franklin and Marshall has a sub for her. It looks like Brianna Spector will leave Galligan in for the moment. Hayashi drains the free throw. Came into today as a 75% shooter from the line. Alyssa Hayashi has played so well so far in her career here for the Garnet as Swarthmore comes away with the steal. Hayashi sets up the half-court offense now for Swarthmore. Van Doric guarded by Narachi. Hayashi converts at the bucket. Hayashi has her scoring touch now. Van Doric already doing damage, so it's been a balanced attack for Swarthmore as we get a whistle and a travel called against Narachi. Sub into the game for the Diplomats. Treblev replaces Bradley. And Lopez comes back in for Swarthmore, takes the spot of Emily Smith with 6:05 to play in the second quarter. And Swarthmore ahead by 11, largest lead of the game for the Garnet. Lopez calls out directions, gives to Van Durick. Lopez steps through, but she traveled. The Diplomats just 6 for 20 from the floor today, so they've struggled offensively. Here's another miss. Williams off the mark. Tie up, and it's a held ball. The arrow favors Franklin and Marshall. Six turnovers today for Franklin and Marshall have also harmed the Diplomats. Swarthmore with just 2 giveaways so far. Both these teams came into today averaging over 18 turnovers per contest. Van Durick with a brief deflection. It goes to Cobb, who resets the offense. Williams, oh, great find, and the layup falls for Narachi, but that was an excellent pass by Kenna Williams. As Dawn Grant calls timeout for the Garnet with 5:16 left to play here in the second quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching Swarthmore basketball here at Tarble Pavilion. Welcome back into Tarble Pavilion. Swarthmore leads Franklin and Marshall 26-17. The Garnet have outscored the Diplomats 12-7 midway through the second quarter. Chris Markowitz here for you. And Dana Banduric once again having herself a day, already with 11 points and 7 rebounds for Swarthmore in this contest. Lopez, long triple, short. Treblev throws it away. Had Narachi running the break, but they couldn't connect cleanly. Lopez with the lefty hook, no good. That was a nifty shot, just couldn't convert. And Williams able to keep it in with some nice footwork on the baseline. The Diplomats scored the first basket, had a 2-0 lead in the opening minute, but it's been all Swarthmore from about a minute and a half in when the Garnet took their first lead. Lopez with a strong rebound. Wingfield, turnaround Jay, rolls around the rim. Hayashi puts it in high off glass. Alyssa Hayashi with 7 points now, to go along with 3 assists and 2 rebounds, so an overall performance for the freshman guard. Williams can't secure it on the baseline. Another turnover for the Diplomats. 3 subs into the game now for Franklin and Marshall as Kennedy Wilburn returns, along with Jacqueline Fight. 3:47 left in the first half. And Swarthmore in complete control right now. The Diplomats go to a full court press here. Swarthmore handles it well. Bandurek with the pump fake and the finish. Dana Bandurek doesn't accept credit card, she's cash only. 13 points now for Bandurek and a 13-point advantage for the Garnet, but an answer by Jacqueline Fight. Nice move there on the baseline. Wingfield inside the Bandurek. What a find, and Hayashi with the finish as Franklin and Marshall need a timeout. With 2:38 to play in the half, it's a 13-point advantage for Swarthmore, the largest lead of the day for the Garnet. We'll take another break. You're watching Swarthmore basketball from Tarble Pavilion. Thirteen-point lead for Swarthmore over Franklin and Marshall with 2:58 to play in the half. Chris Markowitz here at Tarble Pavilion. And Swarthmore in complete control through the first 17 minutes of action, thanks to a solid performance so far by Dana Bandurek and Alyssa Hayashi, who have combined for 22 points here in the first half. Treblev on the drive, 4 to shoot. Wilburn has to put it up, and Bandurek rejects it. Looked like it was actually an entry pass, so we'll see how they score that officially, whether it's a block or a steal, but either way, it's a turnover on a shot clock violation. So giveaways mounting for the Diplomats. 9 turnovers now in the contest. And that has been the difference in the game. Swarthmore with just 2 giveaways. So that's 7 empty possessions in differential. Becker feeds the post. Cronin gives to Hayashi. Cronin into Bandurek. She spins into a double team, but it doesn't matter. You're going to have to send a 3rd defender to stop Dana Bandurek, who is cooking here today at Tarble Pavilion. 15 points now for Bandurek. It's a 15-point lead for Swarthmore. Layup no good for Schreiber. Hope Schreiber, the sophomore guard, with her first shot attempt of the contest. Kokenmeister draws contact, whistles are silent. Cronin with the rebound. Has 3 defenders on her, tries to find Hayashi, but instead it goes out of play. Meg Navarro, the junior guard from Long Branch, New Jersey, re-enters. $1:14 left to play in the half. This pass inside, secured by Fight. Her layup good, and the foul. Jacqueline Fight with the and 1, and she'll go to the line. That's a big basket for the Diplomats as They haven't had much momentum here in the quarter. Fight a 75% free throw shooter, and that's jumping up a tick after the conversion of the three-point play. Under a minute left in the half. Swarthmore with the ball ahead by 12. Hayashi out to Cronin. 10 on the shot clock. Becker, pull-up jumper, gets the kind bounce. Caitlin Becker with the deuce. Fight, pull-up J, airmail. Hayashi up to Bandurek. Might have gotten away with an extra step there as the ball is saved. Great play by Bradley to keep it alive on the baseline. Now it's a tie-up, and this is a jump ball. The arrow favors Swarthmore. An excellent effort by Erin Cronin to get in and win the ball for the Garnet. Shot clock unplugged, 6.7 seconds left in the half, and Swarthmore can hold for the final shot. But it's the steal on the inbound. The Diplomats with it, fight surrounded by three defenders. Here's a shot at the buzzer, no good for Kokenmeister. And that's going to do it for us through the first 20 minutes of action. It's a 36-22 lead for Swarthmore as both teams head to the locker room. What a performance in the first half by Bandurek, Hayashi, and the crew for the Garnet. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Swarthmore basketball here from Tarble Pavilion.
across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Today, the Swarthmore Garnet and the Franklin and Marshall Diplomats are lacing up for pediatric cancer to support the Go for the Goal Foundation to help kids battling cancer. Lace Up for Pediatrics Cancer began in the fall of 2011. Since then, professional college and youth teams have participated in raising funds and awareness for the #1 disease killer of children. To date, over 500,000 athletes have supported our cause. $4 from every $5 pair of laces, and 100% of all donations directly benefit kids and families in the state where the funds are raised. Go for the Goal works to improve the lives of children battling cancer by providing financial assistance, granting special wishes, developing unique hospital programs, and funding innovative research. Learn more about Go for the Goal and how you can help to make a difference by visiting goforthegoal.org. Welcome back into Tarble Pavilion. We're moments away from the second half of action. Chris Markowitz here. And at the half, Swarthmore leads Franklin and Marshall 36-22. It's been another great performance by Dana Bandurek, who played 19 of the 20 minutes in the first half, scored 15 points and hauled in 7 rebounds. She was helped out there by Alyssa Hayashi, the freshman guard, who had 9 points in the first half, along with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Kim Kokenmeister also had 5 points for Swarthmore. Franklin and Marshall was led by Kenna Williams, who had 5 points in the first half, along with Jacqueline Fight, as Franklin and Marshall has the opening possession, but it's a turnover. Galligan's pass intended for Bradley. She wasn't ready for it. 10 turnovers now in the contest for Franklin and Marshall. Make that 11. They had 10 in the first half, and that's been the difference in the contest. Hayashi to the corner. Kokenmeister short. She hit a triple in the first half, but has missed her last 2 looks from distance. As the ball goes out of play, deflected out by Kokenmeister, it stays with the Diplomats. 36-22, Swarthmore leads with 9:19 to play here in the third quarter. Bradley gives to Williams. Galligan stops on a dime, her layup no good. Keeps it alive on the baseline. The shot clock reset on the missed layup. Williams back outside, and Narachi traveled. So back-to-back turnovers to start the second half for Franklin and Marshall, as possession control continues for the Diplomats. That's been their Achilles heel today. Bandurek fouled on the drive. Cobb came on a double team. And the foul is against Narachi. So that's her first, team's first of the half. Bandurek picks up her dribble, kicks outside. Good defense down low by Narachi. Oh, what a find by Kokenmeister. Layup no good for Hayashi, and it's deflected out. Last touch by Aaron Cronin. Both teams without a basket. A minute and 35 seconds into the third quarter, so it remains a 14-point advantage for Swarthmore. Cobb into the lane, good pump fake, and the layup just rims out. The ball sat on the rim for a good second there, but ultimately spun out of the basket. It went out of bounds. Last touch by Swarthmore will stay here. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Franklin and Marshall. Galligan to Cobb. Narachi into Williams. Her hook shot too strong. Narachi no good on the putback. Gets another rebound, but can't secure it. Becker with the push the other way. Oh, what a find. The finish by Kokenmeister, but the feed from Hayashi. 4 assists now for Alyssa Hayashi, and it's a 16-point advantage for the Garnet, their largest today. Williams way off on the hook shot. Hayashi up to Kokenmeister. Becker feeds Bandurek. And she drops it in for two more. Dana Bandurek with 17 points now, her first basket of the second half, and a timeout taken by Franklin and Marshall with 7:13 to play here in the third as Swarthmore leads 40-22. We'll take a break. You're watching Swarthmore basketball. Back from a timeout, it's Franklin and Marshall ball with 7:13 to play here in the third quarter. Swarthmore leads 40-22. Chris Markowitz here from Tarble Pavilion as the Garnet have scored the first 4 points of the third quarter and have an 18-point advantage, their largest of the day. Galligan with the bucket, first basket of the half for the Diplomats. Quinn Galligan has played well here tonight. Galligan with 4 points and a pair of assists. She's made a couple nice passes as well that had open layups. The shots were missed by her teammates, but she's doing her job out there here today. Kogenmeister thought about the three. Instead, kicks to Bandurek. 3 on the shot clock, and the jumper off target for Cronin. Tie-up held ball, and the arrow favors Swarthmore. So Bandurek got in there late and wins the possession back for the Garnets. Hayashi to inbound. Bandurek meets 2 defenders at the rim and finishes through the traffic. Bandurek with 19 points now, tying her season average. And it's a 18-point lead once again for Swarthmore. Dana Bandurek having quite the year for the Garnets, leading the conference in points per game, 3rd in the Centennial this year in rebounds per contest. And she does it so efficiently. As here's a foul on the entry pass. This will be against Bandurek. She came into today with not only the highest points per game average in the Centennial, but also the highest field goal percentage. And today, in her 19-point effort, she's 9 for 15 from the floor. As the mid-range jumper is good by Kokenmeister. And correction, I said that foul was on Bandurek. That foul was on Franklin and Marshall. It was on number 21, Katie Anderson. Meanwhile, 20-point lead for Swarthmore as the advantage continues to grow here in the third quarter. Fight up top. Treblev on the drive, met by Bandurek. And here's a whistle for a foul. Bandurek dropped down on the help defense, but couldn't come away with a clean stop. So Treblev will go to the line. Second trip to the free throw line today for Treblev, where she's 2 for 2. Make that 2 for 3 after the miss. On the year, Treblev is now 5 for 11. Make that 6 for 12 from the free throw line. And it's a 19-point lead for Swarthmore with 5:08 to go here in the third. Bandoric into Hayashi, and she's fouled on the entry pass. Should be free throws. She was in the shooting motion on the catch. Good find by Bandoric. And the officials tab Treblev with the foul, her first and the third of the quarter against the Diplomats. Hayashi this year, 75% from the line coming into today. She goes 1 for 2 on the trip, now is 2 for 3 in the game. Sub into the contest for the Diplomats, and it's Layla Walton. Walton, a 5'8" freshman from Marblehead, Massachusetts. Whistle and a foul here as Galligan went on the drive and was bumped by Nora Wingfield. Lopez comes back in for Swarthmore, and she will replace Caitlin Becker with 4:48 to go here in the third. Galligan on the year, a 50% free throw shooter. And Galligan playing in just her 4th contest of the season. Make that her 5th, excuse me. She goes 1 for 2 from the line. It's a 19-point advantage for Swarthmore. Lopez, what a feed, but Kokenmeister couldn't handle it cleanly. Kept alive by Swarthmore. Lopez kicks to Hayashi. 8 on the shot clock. Lopez, wild shot off the mark. Rebound secured by Galligan. Schreiber for 3, short, and a foul on the loose ball. Kokenmeister was tangled up with Fight. And no, they get that on Wingfield. Kokenmeister was in the area as well. Second foul against Wingfield, and the third of the period called against Swarthmore. So Wingfield goes to the bench, replaced by Smith. 4:11 left to play here in the third. And it's an inbound from the baseline for the Diplomats, but Galligan throws it away. 13th turnover of the contest for Franklin and Marshall. Just 9 so far for Swarthmore, so that's the difference in the ball game. Lopez to Hayashi, but stolen away. Hayashi falls on it and fights for the loose ball, but the arrow favors Franklin and Marshall. And a timeout taken by the Garnet with 3:55 left to play in the third. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Swarthmore basketball here from Tarble Pavilion. .355 left to play here in the third quarter, and this one is all Swarthmore as the Garnet lead the Diplomats 45-26. Chris Markowitz here at Tarble Pavilion. And an impressive performance so far for Swarthmore as the layup falls for Kennedy Wilburn. Second basket of the day for Wilburn, who has 4 points and 4 rebounds. Bandoric able to pass out of a double team. And Hayashi sets up the half-court attack for Swarthmore. Smith on the baseline, swatted by Fight. Jacqueline Fight with a couple rejections here today. And now a reach-in foul called against Lopez. First foul against Lopez, 4 against the Garnet here in the quarter, as Becker re-enters along with Wingfield for Swarthmore. Galligan, guarded by Hayashi. Wilburn knocks it down in rhythm. That's a long two. Tough shot by Kennedy Wilburn with the shot clock running down. And just like that, Franklin and Marshall has cut the lead to 15. Van Durek with the ball on the deck finds Hayashi. Becker to the corner. Up top, Becker, lefty scoop shot rejected once again by Jacqueline Fight. She has been access denied today for the Diplomats. 3 blocks in the contest for her. But we'll stay here as she deflected it last touch off her knee. 5 on the shot clock. Hayashi in the corner. 2 to shoot, gets it off at the buzzer, but it's an air ball. And a turnover on a shot clock violation. So since the timeout at the 3:07 mark, the Diplomats on a little bit of a run here. A 5-0 run for Franklin and Marshall since the Swarthmore timeout, but here's a turnover. And Hayashi leads the break. Kokenmeister up to Hayashi. Van Durek from the high post finds Becker. Van Durek spins in for the hook shot. Good defense by Wilburn to reject the easy look. Galligan over to Schreiber. Wilburn shimmies in and gets fouled by Van Durek. So it's free throws for Kennedy Wilburn. Meg Navarro re-enters for Franklin and Marshall. Second foul against Van Durek in the game. Wilburn with 6 points in the contest to go along with 5 rebounds. And she's found her touch here in the last 2 minutes of action for Franklin and Marshall. Hit a tough jumper. It was a long 2 with a hand in her face a couple of possessions ago. And after capitalizing on both free throws, it's a 13-point game. Franklin and Marshall on a 7-0 run. Swarthmore scoreless in the last 3 minutes and 52 seconds of action. Entry pass deflected and stolen. Walton comes away with it. And the Diplomats in control here down the stretch in the third. Navarro in the fight. She's double teamed, fights out of it. Can't convert, and then is guilty of an over-the-back foul. Second foul of the contest against Jacqueline Fight. 4th team foul. And 2 seconds separate the shot and game clock. So the Garnet can't necessarily hold for the final shot, but if they shoot it right before the buzzer, it's basically the last shot of the period. Van Durek on his spin, looks to give, but turns it over. Stolen away by Wilburn. Shot clock unplugged. Ball loose. Navarro with 4 to shoot, throws up a floater, and Wilburn can't capitalize on the putback. That would have made it an 11-point game. Instead, the Garnet take a 45-32 advantage into the fourth quarter. We'll step away. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Swarthmore basketball here from Tarble Pavilion. "13-point lead for Swarthmore as we enter the fourth quarter of action. Chris Markowitz here at Tarble Pavilion. But it's currently a 7-0 run for the Franklin and Marshall Diplomats. Swarthmore hasn't scored in the last 5 minutes plus of action. Bandurek from the high post. She leads all scorers today with 19 points, which is even with her season average. Bandurek gives for Kokenmeister. Lefty layup too strong, but a late whistle. And the foul is against Wilburn, her second and the first of the quarter. So Kokenmeister goes to the stripe. Kokenmeister on the year, 68% from the free throw line as she makes the first. And that's a big free throw as it ends the scoreless streak. Kokenmeister goes 2 for 2 and pushes the lead back to 15 for Swarthmore. Franklin and Marshall not out of it yet, but a costly turnover. Kokenmeister with the pressure came up on the pass thrown by Galligan and forced the turnover as she deflected the ball off Natalie Cobb. Kokenmeister does all the little things well for Swarthmore. Today she has a total of 11 points. As here's a loose ball picked up by Wingfield. Hayashi, now Bandurek, and Swarthmore will reset. Eight on the shot clock. Kokenmeister over to Hayashi. 3 to shoot. Bandurek blocked. Good rejection by Wilburn. And check that. That was Kenna Williams on the block. Big possession here for the Diplomats, trying to cut back into this ball game down by 15. The running layup is butter for Mackenzie Bradley. First basket today for Bradley, who came into the contest averaging 6 points per game. Bandurek on a handoff. Hayashi, long 2, and it rattles home. Big jumper for the freshman, 12 points in the game for her. And the answer pushes the lead back to 15 for Swarthmore. Galligan guarded by Hayashi. Williams, 13-footer, Doesn't get the bounce. Bandurek collects the miss, and she's a rebound away from her 6th double-double of the year. Bandurek to Kokenmeister, rejected. Clean block by Williams. Bradley has her pass deflected into the Diplomats bench. Will stay here as Erin Cronin re-enters and replaces Nora Wingfield. 7:19 to play here in the 4th. Williams through the double team, and she connects. Williams with 7 points now, along with 5 rebounds. She's been held in check, though. She averages a double-double. Hayashi around a screen from Bandurek. Becker can't connect on the open triple. Galligan up top, drops it off for Bradley. She goes on the drive, tries a fading jumper, and it falls. Tough shot by Mackenzie Bradley, but she drains it. And Swarthmore needs a timeout with 6:28 to play in the 4th. It's an 11-point contest. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Swarthmore basketball live from Tarble Pavilion. As we return from a timeout, it's Swarthmore basketball with 6:28 left to play in regulation. Chris Markowitz here at Tarble Pavilion. The Garnet led the Diplomats by as many as 20 points here in the second half, but Franklin and Marshall has been able to cut the deficit to 11. Kokenmeister in the paint. 10 on the shot clock. Becker. Bandurek to Hayashi, 3 to shoot. No good on the jumper, and Williams secures the big rebound. A chance to make it a single-point lead, but it's stolen away by Kokenmeister. Big turnover there by the Diplomats. They had a chance to cut the advantage to under 10. Bandurek thought about the jumper. Instead, she holsters. Kokenmeister to Smith. Her shot partially blocked. Bradley gives it up, and the layup is good for Narachi, and it's a single-digit deficit. Franklin and Marshall has outscored Swarthmore by 11 points since midway through the 3rd quarter, as the Garnet offense has struggled the last 10 minutes of action. Just 4 points for Swarthmore in that time frame, as the three-pointer doesn't go for Kokenmeister. Franklin and Marshall with a chance to cut into the lead once again on this possession. Lopez waits to check in for Swarthmore. Williams outside. Narachi no good. Everyone on the Franklin and Marshall bench was standing, but they win the rebound. Bradley drives in and gets blocked. And now a whistle, and it's a held ball. Will stay on this side of the floor. Bradley sprinted in for a layup. She was rejected. Smith and Bandurek both had their hands up, so credit both players for the defensive effort. We'll stay here as the Diplomats have it. Williams in the post. Narachi from 16, money. Allison Narachi with a big-time J, and it's a 7-point game. 8-0 run for Franklin and Marshall. Swarthmore scoreless the last 3 minutes and 42 seconds of play. Hayashi into the lane, draws the contact, and she'll go to the stripe. So Allison Hayashi, sensing that this game's getting out of control, tries to take over and gets to the free throw line. The foul is against Natalie Cobb, her first and the team's second of the quarter. These are big free throws for Hayashi, who's now 3 for 4 after making the first from the line today. 13 points for the freshman. And she makes it a 9-point game. Galligan guarded by Hayashi, whistle away from the ball. And they get the foul on Carolina Lopez for a hold away from the play. Second foul on Lopez, first against Swarthmore here in the fourth. So Lopez goes to the bench. Williams throws up a hook shot and it bounces in off glass. 7-point game with 3:26 left to play. Swarthmore just 1 for their last 12 offensively when putting shots up. Bandurek on the drive, and that's a big bucket for Dana Bandurek, as she has 21 points in the contest. This deflection goes off Swarthmore, so the Diplomats maintain possession, but that was a huge basket for Bandurek. The inbound goes to Cobb, who goes on the drive. Foul on the floor, don't count the bucket. And it's on Caitlin Becker. Second team foul of the fourth for Swarthmore, and the second personal foul called against Becker. Under 3 minutes to play. Williams with a spin, no good on the hook. And Kokenmeister leads the offense in the opposite direction for Swarthmore. Wingfield on the wing, over to Bandurek. Bandurek left open, swings for Kokenmeister. Wingfield short on the J. Floorboard hauled in by Bradley. Bradley lost it, picked up by Becker. Kokenmeister over to Hayashi, and she'll reset the half-court offense for Swarthmore. 9-point advantage for the Garnet, who will try to milk some clock on the possession. 2 minutes left to play in the fourth. Hayashi had an opening for a layup, instead kicks to Kokenmeister, who can't convert from distance. Galligan runs the half-court set for the Diplomats as they swing the ball on the perimeter. Williams in the post, no good. Kenna Williams off target on a couple hook shots from the left low block. And with 1:30 left to play, Swarthmore in complete control. Hayashi dribbles up top. Tie up, and the arrow favors Swarthmore. Narachi got her hands in, and check that, they're calling a foul against Allison Narachi, so that's her second, team's third. And Swarthmore calls a timeout. Dawn Grant wants to talk things over with the Garnet, with $1:23 left to play as they lead by 9. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Swarthmore basketball live from Tarble Pavilion. It's crunch time here at Tarble Pavilion. Swarthmore ahead of Franklin and Marshall, 53-44 with a minute 22 left to play. And Hayashi fouled right away by Quinn Galligan. Franklin and Marshall had a foul to give. That's the third personal on Galligan. Inbound goes to Kokenmeister, who is fouled by Natalie Cobb. So we'll have free throws here for Kokenmeister. Second personal foul against Cobb, fifth against the Diplomats here in the fourth. So Swarthmore in the bonus. Kokenmeister will shoot two.
Shooting for Swarthmore is Kim Kokenmeister.
Kokenmeister today has scored 11 points for Swarthmore. She drops in the second free throw and is now 3 for 4 from the line. Give her 12 points in the contest. By the way, Dana Van Durick secured her 10th rebound right before we went to a break for that timeout. So it's her third straight game with a double-double, sixth double-double of the year for her. Layup no good for Narachi, but Williams fouled on the putback try, so she'll shoot free throws. Foul is against Banduric. It's her third and Swarthmore's third of the quarter. Big free throws here for Williams. As a timeout is taken by Brianna Spector with a minute and 2 seconds left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. What a game it's been for Dana Banduric once again, who has 21 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. She is a stat sheet stuffer. She gets it done in so many ways for the Garnet. But you have to give credit to this Franklin and Marshall squad. The Diplomats trailed by as many as 20 points midway through the third quarter. They fought back, cut the lead all the way down to 7 points. And they trail by 9 with a minute and 2 seconds left. Kenna Williams staring down her second free throw of this trip after converting the first. Williams came into today averaging a double-double, and she's got another one, 10 points and 10 rebounds for her in the contest, along with 3 blocks. Give her 11 points as she goes 2 for 2 from the line. 8-point game, full court press by Franklin and Marshall, and a foul right away against Natalie Cobb. So more free throws for Kokenmeister. Third foul against Cobb. So Kokenmeister goes back to the line, and free throws are a strength for Swarthmore this year. As a team, they came into today shooting 74.5% from the line, the best percentage in the Centennial Conference. Old school announcers jinx there as Kokenmeister is too strong on the first. 1 for 2 trip to the line for Kokenmeister. 9-point game, and the Diplomats need a basket on the possession. Cobb, a long triple, got it! Big time three-pointer by Natalie Cobb with 52.4 seconds left to play. And the Diplomats take a timeout just like that. It is a 6-point contest, so don't go anywhere as this one's getting interesting down the stretch. Franklin and Marshall hanging on as they have outscored Swarthmore here in the fourth quarter. The Diplomats have scored 17 points in the fourth, Swarthmore just 10. And the Garnet 2 for 11 from the floor here in the fourth. Inbound for Swarthmore, ahead by 6, but we've got a lot of time left on the clock. And it's a free throw game now. Hayashi catches the inbound and gets fouled as a second and a half come off the clock. Mackenzie Bradley guilty of the foul. It's her first personal. And Hayashi will shoot the free throws. Hayashi today 4 for 5 from the line. Big make by Hayashi to make this a 3-possession game. And Hayashi cans both free throws, 2 for 2 on the trip, 6 for 7 from the free throw line today. Missed layup by Galligan. The rebound goes to Bandurek, who is fouled, and will walk to the opposite end of the hardwood for free throws. Williams guilty of the foul, and that's her first. Bandurek with a chance here to add to her total. She already has 21 points and 11 rebounds. Sub coming in now for Franklin and Marshall as Hope Schreiber waits to check in. And she'll come onto the floor after Bandurek's make. So Bandurek with 22 points and 11 boards. And that's 3 consecutive games now for Bandurek with 20 points and double-digit rebounds. Galligan with a nice shovel pass to Cobb, who's blocked. Swarthmore comes away with it, and now we have a held ball. The arrow favors the Garnet. And a sub will come in for the Diplomats. It's Kenna Williams. 9-point lead for Swarthmore with 31 seconds left to play. Loose ball on the inbound, but a foul is called. Cobb shoved Kokenmeister from behind, so more free throws for Kim Kokenmeister. 4th foul against Cobb, and Williams goes to the bench now, replaced by Schreiber. So it's Becker, not Kokenmeister to the line. And that free throw makes it a 10-point contest. Becker with a big-time 2-for-2 trip, and it's an 11-point advantage for the Garnet. Bandurek with the steal, and that should just about wrap things up here. Hayashi up ahead. Wingfield fouled, and we'll have some more free throws. So this game basically a formality now. The Garnet on their way to their 3rd consecutive victory. And with the win, Swarthmore will improve to 8-2 on the year, 5-1 in conference action, as they'll avenge a home loss against Dickinson back on December 4th, their last time here at Tarble Pavilion. Franklin and Marshall, meanwhile, will fall to 5-7 on the year and 3-4 in the Centennial Conference play. Kokenmeister with a steal, and that's going to do it for us here at Tarble Pavilion as Hayashi dribbles across the timeline. And the final score of this game, Swarthmore 62, Franklin and Marshall 49. 3 in a row now for the Swarthmore Garnet. And they improve to 5-1 in conference action. Dana Bandurek once again with a 20-point double-double. That's going to do it for us in our first game of a doubleheader here today. We're going to switch over to a different link, and you can join us in a little bit. We're set for a 3 o'clock tip-off for the men's game between Franklin and Marshall and Swarthmore